Galatians 1, verse 17. Again, Paul here. Nor did I go up to Jerusalem to consult with those who were apostles before I was. Instead, I went away to Arabia and later returned to the city of Damascus. I think our takeaway here is if we read the next verse, we see this was 3 years of Paul's life that he spent in Arabia. That Arabia was a place of preparation. We may look at it and say, well, that's, there's almost this, the biblical pattern of going into the wilderness. And often we look at that as like a negative thing because we think of the wilderness as like dry, Arabia, like desert, but God would do preparing work, refining work, and empowering work in the desert times, testing work. You see Jesus going into the wilderness and having his 40 days. There's a divine number of 40, but there's also that divine number of 3 that Paul goes, and we see that he's in Arabia for 3 years having that preparation time. And, I don't know who this is for, but, something I've always heard is preparation time is not wasted time. And so he didn't get prepared by, spending his time with others. He prepared by spending his time with God. It wasn't a consultation that brought him to where he was. It was a preparation time of what God was doing in him. He didn't go up and get a ministry by rubbing shoulders with the leaders. He put himself into ministry. He didn't do it himself. He didn't put himself in the ministry. God put him in there in that preparation time. I believe that Paul had great revelation, refining, and preparation in Arabia. We always called it the University of Arabia. So my prayer for you, my prayer for me is that those Arabian moments, those wilderness moments, that God is preparing in me for what he has prepared for me. So just to encourage you in this as he wanted to get it straight from God. Again, what we talked about, not consulting with humans, not consulting with the church leaders, not trying to force his way into leadership by, hamming it up with those guys. He went straight to the source. He went straight to the source, and he spent his time with God in preparation for the ministry that God had for him. Hey, like this, comment, share, ask your questions, subscribe, and I will catch you again later.